We often hear that very hot and cold temperatures can have a negative toll on the body.
But tonight in a special report, Sabrina Wilson shows us why extreme exposure may actually benefit your health.
Some like it really hot. Others enjoy icy cold. It turns out that regular exposure to high heat and cold in controlled settings may benefit your health. In Metairie, Vincent Catalanato heads into a sauna at Contrast Longevity Suite.
The sauna is more mental.
From the sauna, he heads next door, where cold water awaits.
So sauna and cold plunge in general can be great for preventative services for a lot of chronic health conditions.
And sauna heat in particular may help with a very prevalent life-threatening condition. According to the CDC, one person dies every 33 seconds from cardiovascular disease. So research continues.
With regard to sauna and heart disease and prevention, I think that there's a lot to be said for alternative mechanisms that aren't medical therapy or aren't medication and pills that people have to take to improve overall health.
This study published in the journal JAMA Internal Medicine investigated the association between the frequency of sauna bathing and the risk of sudden cardiac death and other fatal heart conditions. Researchers say the findings provide prospective evidence that sauna bathing is a protective factor against the risk of such mortality events and that the results suggest that sauna bathing is a recommendable health habit.
3 times a week for at least about 15 to 20 minutes is going to really give you some great benefits. You can increase that as you can tolerate and as your body adapts to that heat. And so getting up to that 2-hour mark in a sauna per week is kind of where you see maximum benefits in those cardiovascular effects.
Doctors Rachel Delahousse Shields and Elizabeth Grieshaber, both board-certified dermatologists, co-founded Sanctuary Dermatology and Contrast Longevity, a separate business.
Contrast is a longevity suite that kind of marries some of our other interests and passions for health and well-being of everyone, not just our patients. And so that's where we offer sauna and cold plunge.
A 2018 study in neurology on sauna bathing and the risk of stroke looked at the baseline habits of sauna use in over 1,600 adult Finnish men and women aged 53 to 74 without a history of stroke. It concluded that middle-aged to elderly men and women who take frequent sauna baths have a substantially reduced risk of new-onset stroke.
In some of the studies, patients with elevated blood pressure who frequently saunaed had a lower likelihood of having a heart attack or stroke.
And the research shows there are also blood pressure benefits.
According to a study in the American Journal of Hypertension, regular sauna bathing is associated with reduced risk of hypertension. And this study, published in March of 2025, concluded that sauna bathing could be considered as a promising tool for primary prevention of hypertension and related cardiovascular ailments.
Your vasculature, so your blood vessels, become more adaptable and less likely to be so rigid.
And there are benefits related to dementia.
With frequent sauna use, you get activation of heat shock proteins. And heat shock proteins are these really cool proteins that float around that help remodel things, specifically brain tissue. And so with frequent activation of heat shock proteins, you can see reduction in dementia risk.
Benefits that caught Catalanato's attention.
So that time alone is special. And the fact that it has health benefits on top of that, that's just really bonus for me.
But not all sauna heat is equal in terms of research-backed cardiovascular benefits.
And this is for traditional heat sauna, not other types of sauna or steam. So not infrared sauna or steam bathing.
Who would be a good candidate for this?
So anyone who has general decent health and does not have any severe cardiovascular issues that might put them at risk for fainting or for having an irregular heartbeat.
I asked about asthmatics.
If it is a temperature sensitivity that triggers your asthma, you're going to want to be careful and probably bring your rescue inhaler if you're going to try it, and at least vet it with your doctor, your pulmonologist, or your allergist, whoever's managing your asthma before you take that risk.
They say cold plunges also help the brain.
Cold plunge is also associated with a really interesting release of epinephrine and norepinephrine and dopamine, and so you get all kinds of improvements in mood and mental clarity and drive and resilience and grit.
There are benefits simply because it's challenging.
So whenever you convince yourself to do something that you didn't want to do that was hard, but you know you needed to, this little part of your brain is going to fire and make increased connections and even grow in volume. So you're actually increasing your brain's capacity.
And cold plunge could impact metabolism and may affect blood sugar control.
There's also great benefits with cold plunge with regard to glucose control and glucose and sugar cravings.
I want to feel great. Let me try it. And I am like a ninny when it comes to the cold.
Now he's sold on cold plunge.
The feeling I got out of it was just electrifying. Like, it was like coffee times 10.
Still, the elderly can be especially sensitive to extreme temperatures, hot and cold.
With regard to age, you can train that, but you're just going to have to go low and slow like you would with any other exercise.
Amid growing research, many people are turning to sauna and cold plunge therapy. I'm Sabrina Wilson, Fox 8 Local First.